Over the past month, I have been working with concerned parents and concerned third-party childcare operators in Waterloo Region. Third-party childcare providers in Waterloo Region are at risk of being forced out by the Waterloo Region District School Board and Waterloo Catholic District School Board in favor of board-run childcare centres. I am a father with 2 young children, and I can sympathize with all the parents in Waterloo Region who are concerned about their children and ensuring that their child receives the best possible care. My staff and I have attended public meetings throughout Waterloo Region, and one thing is clear. Parents in Waterloo Region, including parents in Cambridge-North Dumfries, are concerned about having affordable and accessible childcare, and this is why I'm introducing a bill to address these concerns. Childcare costs under the proposed changes in Waterloo Region will increase the price of extended daycare by an additional $2,000 per student per school year. In addition, childcare provided by the school board will be less extensive than what is currently offered. Extended day programs will only be offered if 15 families are enrolled and will not provide childcare throughout the summer as many third-party care providers currently do. In a few moments, I will introduce a bill to protect third-party childcare providers in Ontario. This bill would make 3 amendments to Section 259 of the Education Act. It would require school boards in Ontario to work with third-party operators to preserve their ability to operate extended day programs as they were on September 1st, 2011. In essence, this will grandfather the child care centres from being taken over by the Waterloo Region school boards if they've been operating in a school as of September 1st, 2011. Families in Cambridge and Waterloo Region are very upset with Dalton McGuinty and the Liberal government over this issue. Several public meetings have been held, and they now have 1,000 signatures, more than 1,000 signatures, on petitions asking for change. So far, the McGuinty government has turned its back on Waterloo Region families who depend on the third-party child care centres. Kitchener Centre MPP John Malloy has said that this is an issue for the region and not the province. However, these are the facts. On September 23rd of this year, the Premier wrote a letter to his own school board regarding this issue, but has failed to do so in this case. In the Premier's letter to the Ottawa-Carleton District School Board, the school board of my good friend Lisa MacLeod, he stated that school boards should allow, quote, trusted local third-party daycare operators to continue providing before and after school care to students, end quote. Why is there a discrepancy between the government House Leader and the Premier regarding whether this is a provincial issue? I'm asking the McGuinty government to call this bill for second reading to ensure that the needs of parents, children, and stakeholders in Waterloo Region and across Ontario are not ignored by school boards. I, along with many caucus colleagues, and I note the member for Durham just arrived, John O'Toole, will continue to represent parents and families in Waterloo Region to ensure that their children have an environment that their parents want them to learn in and an environment that their children have grown accustomed to. I'm going to now let my colleague Lisa MacLeod, the PC critic for education, to say a few words.
Well, thank you very much, Rob. It's great to be here today, and I want to specifically congratulate him not only on his election to Queen's Park, but the great work he's done on behalf of the residents of Cambridge since he entered this place 3 weeks ago. I'd also like to say thank you to my colleague Michael Harris from Kitchener-Conestoga. Both of them, since being elected just over 2 months ago, have brought the concerns of the parents of the Waterloo region to the floor of this chamber in an extraordinary way. My colleague has noted that Premier McGuinty, who resides in the same city that I do, in the city of Ottawa, where we have a school board called the Ottawa-Carleton District School Board, the Premier and all of the Liberal MPPs wrote in a letter asking, after passing the full-day kindergarten bill last year, that they should allow, quote, trusted local third-party daycare operators to continue providing before and after school care to parents. This was a very important point for those of us in the previous Ontario PC caucus. The previous education critic, Elizabeth Whitmer, was a leader in standing up for these third-party operators. As a mother myself, whose daughter did go through full-day kindergarten, it was a blessing for us to have the ability to utilize a third-party operator that we have been using for years. off-site of the school. So I stand here today with my colleague who has responded to the thousands of parents in his community, as well as the member from Kitchener-Conestoga, Michael Harris, who has stood up for the thousands of parents in his community to do the right thing in this Ontario legislature, to answer the petition of Michael Harris and to answer this piece of legislation by Rob Leone. We can do it as a chamber. We have a minority government which will allow it, and I'm looking forward to standing side by side with these two incredible new MPPs. Thank you very much.
I'd now like to ask Lori Prospero, the Executive Director of Owl Child Care Services, to say a few words.
Certainly. Thank you very much, Dr. Leone, for having us here today. Owl Child Care Services is a nonprofit registered charity and one of the largest providers of center-based child care in schools in the Waterloo region. For 30 years, OWL has worked with the community to provide an essential service for families, focusing on early learning and school-age care. Our play-based learning curriculum is provided in a safe, stimulating, and supportive environment that maximizes each child's developmental potential. As an organization, OWL supports full-day kindergarten initiative. However, the current implementation model for the extended day program in Waterloo region will have unintended consequences for families. Child care funding is a delicate balance across all ages served by a child care provider. The removal of the 4 to 7-year-old age group for before and after school care, coupled with the higher cost of providing care for infants, toddlers, and preschoolers, will result in fee increases. It is expected that child care centers will have no choice but to increase fees by up to 30% or to consider a reduction of spaces or center closures as access to additional base funding is not being made available to the licensed child care system in our province. In November, a survey was conducted with members of the Child Care Network of Waterloo Region that included 50 unique operators, including multi-site large providers. The survey looked specifically at the risk of center closures and the loss of child care spaces. It yielded a 50% response rate, well above the average for considered good for a survey. The survey results indicate the following: 48%, or 11 child care operators, many of whom operate multiple programs, indicate a risk of center closure between 2012 and 2015. Of these, operators have identified at least 25 centers in our region that may close in the next 3 years. This leads to a loss of 81 toddler spaces, 426 preschool spaces for children aged 2.5 to 3.8 years, and 458 before and after school spaces for children 8 to 12 years of age. In addition to center closures, child care operators anticipate a loss of summer care spaces as a result of shifting their programs to accommodate younger students. It is anticipated that there will be 329 fewer spaces for summer care for children 4 to 7 in our region, and 168 fewer spaces for summer care for the 8 to 12-year-old age group. This is a significant issue for Ontarians. And as a result, on behalf of the OWL members, I applaud Dr. Leone for introducing the Protection of Child Care Centers bill today. And I also appreciate the support of MPP Michael Harris that he's brought forward through the petition and in conversation regarding this issue. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Lori. And I also have at the table with us today a concerned parent, Ashley Ross, and I'll have her speak to provide her comments.
Thank you, Dr. Leone. The families of Waterloo Region have many faces. We are individuals with unique needs that are currently being met by third-party providers. In our region, there has been no consultation whatsoever with the community regarding the board taking over before and after care of 4 to 7-year-olds. There was also no consultation with the trustees that we elect to put our policy into place. We have been advised that it was a management decision. Recently, there was a motion put forward to hold information nights. The board appears to think that the parents don't understand their message. We don't need information. We demand consultation. A hybrid model partners school boards with third parties to deliver child care to before and after children, ensuring affordable access for all. The board's model does not. A hybrid model guarantees that care is available 12 months of the year. The board's model does not. A hybrid model accepts and cares for special needs children. The board's model does not. A hybrid model allows third parties to continue to be financially viable and maintains the cost of watching children in the 0 to 3 year age group. The board's model does not. The board has made it clear that they don't intend to do anything other than gather us at a series of meetings like a herd of cattle and reiterate information that we have already been told. We find their reckless handling of our children's care unacceptable, and we're here to request that the province intervene. We represent only one board in Ontario. We want to make sure that no other families in the province find their affordable daycare at risk. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much, everyone, for your comments, and I'd like to invite any questions if you have any. Okay, well, thank you very much, and have a good day.
Good job.